Hello, my name is Mariah Pena, and today I'm going to be providing you with a persuasive speech on immigration and why some of the laws should become a little bit more lenient. Just to give you a tidbit of information and to start off here, I just want to let you guys know that it's estimated that over 851,000 people are being held in these detention centers as I speak, separated from their families and forced to live in such small cells that some are having to stand while they sleep. Now, these conditions get way worse. They're so bad that many of us would even consider leaving our pets in one of them for a weekend getaway. I want to talk about Christopher Columbus and let you guys know a little bit of history there. It's said that Christopher Columbus was the first explorer to find the Americas in 1492, so much so that we have a holiday dedicated to him. But history has proven that he was not the first founder and was not its first inhabitant. It was inhabited by an array of Native American tribes, people whose country was invaded, pillaged, and torn apart by a nameless amount of explorers. Some may ask, why is this important when I'm providing a speech about immigration and why the laws should become a little bit more lenient? My response to that would be, for centuries we have inhabited a country that we have claimed to be ours, implored people who entered it illegally to go back to their own country. How can we demand for such actions when this country was never ours to begin with? Immigrants take great risks to try to get into the United States, flee their home country, which at times is surrounded by poverty, violence, and prevents people from obtaining basic human rights. For those reasons alone, they should be given the chance to apply for citizenship and not have to jump through hoops to even be given an application. When someone is found attempting to enter the United States legally, they're detained and then forced into a cage-like holding cell, packed and surrounded by other migrants. They have no access to basic amenities like soap, water, a toothbrush, or showers. At times, there is no place to sleep. Some are forced to sleep on a cold slab of concrete. They are subjected to various forms of abuse, such as physical, sexual, and emotional. This is happening to not only men and women, but children as well. Can you imagine enduring those conditions I just explained to you as a child, or having to witness your child being treated this way, knowing that there is nothing you can do about it? Detention centers were created to enforce our immigration laws, but why not provide people with the opportunity to enter legally? Why make it so hard to become a part of the United States when we can boost our economy, allow others to be a part of creating new ideas, and show that we support our country, other countries worldwide? It is estimated that when a person is detained, they can be held for an average of 45 days. Many times when someone is forced to go back to their home country, they either fled to avoid the ongoing violence they're surrounded by. They want better opportunities than the lack of opportunities provided in their country, or they were trying to flee for someone or something. Forcing someone to go back and face the very place that they lived can be dangerous and result in death due to the risks that they previously took. The United States has cracked down on immigration, so much so that in the past years, it has been forcing some people to go back to a country they have never been to. Think about that, spending over half your life building a home in a place that has become your own, then being uprooted and forced into a place that you have not set foot in decades, being left to figure things out on your own, figure out how to live a life that you left behind and were forced to restart. These are the conditions that not only immigrants are having to face, but some Americans as well. In 2012, there was a study that was done showing that over 1,480 American citizens have been released from ICE custody. Some have waited for as long as 3 years to be released. That was just as of 2012 and does not include today's estimations. And as I stated earlier, the conditions in these detention centers are not ideal. In order to prevent things like this from happening in the future, we must implement more lenient immigration laws and ensure that we are thoroughly checking to ensure that we are not deporting fellow Americans. When someone is detained, they are forced to endure life-changing circumstances. They are forced into a small cell crowded with people they do not know, exploited, and forced to live in these cells without the basic amenities. Immigrants are forced to go back to a country they may not even recognize anymore. And again, this happens to United States citizens as well. In order to prevent this from continuing, we must look to enact more lenient immigration laws. In order to enact more lenient immigration laws, that starts with putting the right people in charge, getting out and voting when it's our time to vote, and voting for the bills that could benefit these immigration laws as well. We also have to advocate for the people that are still facing these unimaginable conditions in these detention centers. We need to be their voice when they don't have one right now. Why penalize people who are doing the same things that many of us would do if we found ourselves in their positions? It's time that we provide everyone an opportunity to enter into the United States legally, as long as we don't face some type of home security threat due to their entry. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope you learned a little bit about immigration. Thank you guys so much, and I'm done.